Alrighty, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of After the Buzzer. And not gonna lie, this may have been the best day of basketball we've had all postseason so far. I mean, just two phenomenal games, and I'm gonna be honest, I was wrong on both games. I thought that Philly and Utah were gonna win. I was wrong. I was definitely wrong. I have underrated Atlanta so much throughout the whole entire season, and they're just proving me wrong. I mean, the Sixers had such a comfortable lead. I mean, I need to look at the box score because it was just insane. They had a 14-point lead going into the second quarter. Embiid was really nice in that first quarter. He was like 7 for 7 with like it was like 17 points I think in the first quarter. But he was more aggressive than he was in game number 4, and he was playing better at least in the first half. Of course, we know how that second half turned out in game 4, but he did play decent in that second half too today. But the Sixers had if I do the math right, they had a 23-point lead going into half. 23-point lead. 23 points. Now, and then the Hawks outscored them by 4, which only brings it down to a 19-point lead going into the fourth quarter. If you have a 19-point lead going into the fourth quarter, you should be able to close that game out in a breeze. Seth Curry and Embiid were the only ones scoring, but the problem with the Sixers this game was Ben Simmons. Just Ben Simmons only took 4 shots. I would say he only scored 6 points or so, and I would say that he was just so bad this game. No, he only took 4 shots. I'm not sure if maybe the Hawks were just locking him up the whole game, or maybe or just he did not take any shots and Embiid was calling for the ball the whole time. But Seth Curry was also out there. He had like 36 points, like 7 for 12 from 3. He was on tonight, so it was just him and Embiid basically. Off the bench, I don't really think that nobody was really scoring too much off the bench, at least for Philly. No, it was really Simmons only hit 8, but it was really Curry and Embiid. Embiid with 37, Curry with 8. Nobody else could hit a shot. Toby couldn't hit a shot. Korkmaz, nobody off the bench could either. It was just a bad performance by Philly in that fourth quarter as Trae Young just became unreal. Bogdanovich and Herter, they struggled throughout this whole entire game. They couldn't hit a shot. But Gallinari and Lou Will stepped up off the bench and with 16 points each for them. And Trae Young had 39, John Collins had 19, and then you have some bench scores in Gallo and Lou Will, and there's your W. I mean, Trae Young is just, I've been underrating him so much. I haven't really watched too much of him this season other than when the Hawks played the Heat, but even so, Trae Young has been out for some games when the Hawks played Miami this past season. But I cannot even imagine being a Philly fan right now and just watching your 1 seed team, which was supposedly the MVP'd, just blow a 19-point lead in the fourth quarter. You have 1 quarter left with a 20-point lead. How are you going to blow that game? And then John Collins also stepped up, but Trae Young is just unreal as the Hawks end up winning by 3, 109-106, and they now have a 3-2 series lead over the 1 seed 76ers, with Game 6 tomorrow is going to determine whether the Hawks go to the Eastern Conference Finals. Just an absolute insane season from Atlanta. And moving on to the next one, I don't really know what was more surprising, the Hawks and Philly game or this game, honestly. The Clippers and Jazz, as the Clippers end up pulling away with the W, 119-111. Paul George stepped up with 37 points. I mean, I said in the last video that unless Paul George drops 40, this Clippers team is getting blown out. But he dropped 37, and, I mean, they just somehow won. I mean, good defense all around, good offense, scoring, whether on the bench or the starting lineup. It was just an all-around really good game from the Clippers. Like I said, Paul George with 37, Reggie Jackson 22, Marcus Morris 25, and Terrence Mann 13, who was starting. I really thought that that they would put maybe Zubac in the starting lineup, but they put Terrence Mann, and it turned out to work. It looks like they're probably also going to start him for game number 6. If that works in game 5, I'm guessing that they're probably going to do it again in game 6. But, I mean, the Jazz team, they did good, but, like, I just don't understand how the Clippers won this game. Bogdanovich could not miss it in the first half, but in the second half he cooled down. He had 32 in the end. Donovan Mitchell, this is the problem right here. 4 for 14 from the three-point line, 21 points. And I say 21 points because I know that he's capable of scoring 40-plus every single game, which is where he needs to step up. I don't think he can get past his Clippers team by only scoring 21. I'm guessing that the Jazz team was kind of not trying too hard because Kawhi Leonard was out and there was no way that Pandemic P was going to score 35 points on their heads, but I Pfizer P. So the Clippers now take a 3-2 lead over Utah as the Hawks now take a 3-2 lead over the Sixers. So we have game 6 tonight with the Nets leading 3-2 over the Bucks. It could we see our first Eastern Conference Finals member tonight? We'll have to see. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Peace.